Can you believe that one of the most popular sports car brands was formed for a sweet revenge and by a mere accident? Perhaps many car brands in the 1960s, and especially Ferrari, that produced legendary vehicles, were partly responsible for its creation, but not in a very positive way. Welcome to Low, and this is Feruccio Lamborghini, the rise of an underdog. Early life as a mechanic. Feruccio was born to a grape farmer in a town called Renazzo in northern Italy in 1916. He grew up working on the family farm and learned mechanics on his own, fixing and maintaining his family's farming equipment. More than the farming lifestyle, he was interested in the farming machinery. Following his interest as a mechanic, Feruccio studied at the Fratelli Taddea Technical Institute near Bologna. During the Second World War, he served as a mechanic in the island of Rhodes as a part of the Italian Air Force working for the Vehicle Maintenance Unit. However, after the island fell in the hands of the British, he was taken prisoner and he couldn't reach his home until the next year. But his employers, who were aware of his expertise in mechanics and engineering, put him to work in the motoring department. This way, Feruccio got first-hand experience keeping cars on the road, even with limited part supplies. Using parts for a military vehicle's engines, he built one of the first models of his tractors called Carioca. Because there was a demand for agricultural improvements in Italy after the war and petrol was quite expensive, Feruccio modified the engines of his tractor with a fuel atomizer he created, which allows the tractors to start with petrol and then switches to diesel, which was a cheap fuel at the time. With considerable success of the Carioca model, Feruccio founded Ferrari Lamborghini and began manufacturing tractors. Passion for sports cars. After the war, Feruccio opened a garage in Pieve di Cento, which is a district north of Bologna. In the spare time he made tractors, Feruccio modified an old Fiat Topolino he had purchased, which would be the first Lamborghini he would make. He used his mechanical abilities to customize what is normally perceived as a city car into a 750cc open-top two-seater that was quite powerful. And also he registered it to participate in Mille Miglia 1948, which is an open-road race to test motorsport endurance. The participation ended about 1,100 kilometers later when it was crashed into the side of a restaurant in Fiano. In the upcoming years, Lamborghini's increasing wealth allowed him to purchase faster, more expensive cars than the tiny Fiats he had during his youth. In the early 1950s, he owned cars such as Alfa Romeos, a Mercedes-Benz 300 SL, a Jaguar E-Type, and two Maserati 3500 GTs. At this point, he had enough cars to use a different one every day of the week. Automobili Lamborghini. Feruccio was having a bad day as the luxury car he bought recently kept making problems. This forced him to make several trips to the car manufacturer to replace it. After a point, he was so frustrated at how the clutch kept burning in his car. Being a tractor merchant himself, he decided to have a look at it at his workshop instead. After disassembling the engine and transmission, his head mechanic found that the clutch used in the car was identical to the one used in the small tractors he manufactured. Feruccio was so mad that his luxury car had the same parts which he used to manufacture his own tractors, but only that he had to pay 10 times the price for it, or even more. As a result, he was going to discuss it with the car manufacturer's founder. More into that meeting, as a matter of fact, Feruccio happened to mention, "You build your beautiful cars with my tractor parts," and it caused more tension between the two parties. As a mocking reply, the car company's founder told Feruccio, "You are just a tractor driver, you are a farmer, you shouldn't complain driving my cars because they are the best cars in the world." Feruccio got infuriated at this and told the founder that he will make a sports car by himself to show him how a sports car has to be. Feruccio would then name his brand Lamborghini after his last name. And the luxury car company's founder he had an argument with is none other than Enzo Ferrari, and so the rivalry began between two sports car brands, one which was already top in the market and one which was just formed to compete with it. Interest in bullfighting. Feruccio had a strong fascination with bullfighting, which was a significant influence in his life and in the design of his cars. The logo of Automobili Lamborghini features a bull, and many of the company's car models are named after famous fighting bulls such as the Miura, the Islero, and the Diablo. Also, the cars featured bold, aggressive lines and powerful engines designed to symbolize the strength and power of a fighting bull. Feruccio sure believed his cars meant more than just transportation, like a work of art, and are built to embody the same strength that Lamborghini associated with the bullfight. Legacy. Feruccio Lamborghini passed away in 1993, though 20 years before, Lamborghini himself retired from the company and sold his majority share to a group of investors, by which time it was already one of the most sought-after car brands when it comes to sports and luxury. He went on to start several other business ventures, but none of them were as successful as Automobili Lamborghini. Regardless of whether or not he owned it fully, He was there in its making, and even today his legacy lives on through the enduring popularity of the sports cars that contain his name. Thank you for watching.